Presidium. Los me modesto. Veritate e profundo lo che la nihilus in me. Okay, the energy that's coming through is like this mother energy, very intense mother energy. She's deep in fear. There's like panic. I feel it. Not right side. Deep in panic, fearful, acting to protect herself. I'm getting like protect an image more than anything. This could be someone who suffers with narcissistic personality disorder. Does not have to be, but it's something to where the way that they're behaving, and this is a pattern that they display, and they have throughout their life. The behavioral patterns that they have, very intense. When this person's in fear, they always have to like get ahead of a narrative and tell like everyone they know, and they call it emotional processing. But basically it's like making other people responsible for their emotions, so they never have to take responsibility for their own emotions. Also, it is them creating their own narrative to try to save face for themselves. That's the essence of this person who is a mother. Let's see, to clear the energy in my gifts, sometimes it's a little... I'm gonna get the energies mixed up. Hello, welcome in. If this person is married, I feel like their husband has been struggling with their behavior for a time, not able to understand it entirely. They just know that this person's a very difficult person to work with. They still have a lot of love for them, but there's there could be a lot of fights in this connection, a lot of gaslighting, just a lot of misunderstandings and not understanding. There's like layers and layers of manipulation and always just intense, heavy emotions and like being projected outwardly from this mother figure. I feel this husband energy, coming through feels very sick. Like maybe even finding some things out. Maybe some things are becoming clear. It feels so heavy. Like they wish they would have seen this sooner. Is the essence of that. They feel betrayed themselves. They feel betrayed by this person because they realizing how much their wife has lied to them. Also, they feel sick to their stomach. They feel betrayed almost by themselves even. This is a tarot channel. It's not going to be for everyone. This is a very specific storyline, so it's not going to fit everyone. Only take what resonates. And if it's not your story, it's not your story. You can enjoy it for entertainment or educational purposes if you would like. And if you're going to be an asshole for absolutely no reason, I will hide your ass and you'll never be able to comment on my channel again. Lots of people have hurt me. I'm sure it's the same for everyone, but I'm going to go ahead and get into this energy again. If it's not your story, you don't have to be here. I never asked you to be. And if you want to be here, these are for educational or entertainment purposes. If it is not your story, if it is your story, only take the parts that actually resonate. Not every aspect will resonate. For some, it might though. For some people, this is their story, so I have respect for a life that you may not understand, but people do actually live. So I'm getting the intensity of this mother figure who is trying to save face, but there's this masculine energy, their husband, that is facing them and seeing certain things that they wish they had seen sooner. They feel very sick about it. Let's see what comes through. Like the lies, the illusions are just becoming more and more obvious now. It's like so many things did not make sense up until like this point, but they've been putting pieces together little bit by little bit, and it's heavy realizations. This is like reality shattering things. Okay, the husband is not taking this easily. I mean, obviously they're deeply in love, but see, could be their child or children that they see in fear in this situation. They're trying to protect their family. They're trying to protect their family. God, there's so much pain from these illusions being uncovered, but it's things that have been very confusing are becoming more clear. Justice is showing up. I almost wonder, this could be too where a husband moved on and they're looking back at a past relationship, like an ex-wife, that now they're saying they wish they would have stood up to them more, or seen this sooner, or stood up for their children. There's something about that, their child or their children, they wish they would have protected better, because they see the pain that their child or children have to go through because of this mother figure. So this could be someone that moved on a long time ago. They still had care in their heart, but they had to move on to protect themselves. And maybe the children ended up getting stuck with the mother. And it's clearly a toxic situation. Here's that Queen of Pentacles reversed. This is someone who's not nurturing, not stable. Here's the Justice card peeking out again. I'll take that one out. So this mother figure, okay, it looks to me like, okay, there's at least one child that these people have together. And whether they're still together or not, again, everyone's story is going to be a little different, so I'll apply it how it fits. But there's like one child who's turned whatever they're pain into like something creative. They might be like an artist, just with that Page of Wands energy. That's like childlike energy. Maybe they're a very creative child, and the father is trying to support this, and then maybe their mother does not support that aspect of them. Maybe what's coming through in their creative endeavors is something where this mother feels personally attacked. I feel like this with the Sun reverse and the Four of Cups reverse. There was a lot this mother did to keep people in the dark about something. She's hiding something about herself. She's very fearful. She could just be like, I don't know, she has her own shame and her own things that she hasn't worked through. So she could just like behave in ways that are like, she lashes out at people, and she could be ashamed of just that alone. But there's a lot she keeps in the dark. She's hiding from herself. This mother. Let's see what else comes through. But like the children are directly involved, and her husband or ex-husband or both, or one or the other, was deeply hurt by this. I don't think she realizes how much she lashes out at others, or maybe she does, but that's like a sense of control. It gives her a sense of control. She's very insecure deep down. She doesn't feel like she has control over herself. She's very insecure, but she has this pattern. And a lot of people are very confused and don't know how to deal with her, so maybe they avoid it at all costs. Avoid her anger, avoid her reactions. So she might be the type of person to provoke like reactive abuse, so that she could make it seem like other people are the ones with the problem. This is her like getting ahead of a narrative. It's like a really intense mother figure. She could be like, she could have like perfectionistic qualities to her, like, but it's about her image. It's all about image. Like she has to have people see her a certain way. If people don't see her a certain way, and she gets really upset. She might always display this outwardly in the public, but in the home is where a lot of this shows up. This instability in her. She doesn't know how to put things into perspective. She also, like, justice is coming out again, peeking out the back. So we got the Hanged One and Eight of Pentacles both in the reverse. She might be the type of person who doesn't want to work also. So she leans so heavily on her spouse. I feel like she might use her spouse as like a workhorse so that she doesn't have to work. But then she's not showing up as a stable parent at all either for her children, not supportive of her children, lashing out. So in a balanced household, yeah, maybe one parent does work and support financially, but then the other would take care of all the home stuff. I feel like this would be the type of mother that doesn't want to work but also doesn't take care of things at home or take good care of her children. She might try to hold her children close, and she might have 3 children. She could have one, or she could have even more. She could have children that left the home already. She could have some living with her still, and some that have left the home. Again, apply it to your situation if it even fits. So someone who never took the time to care for themselves or get to know themselves. They're not career oriented. They don't really have personal goals. Maybe they wanted a family. They feel very alone inside. This person has really deep abandonment wounds. It's like she needs to be in control of the people around her. She feels like that's love, but that's not love. She tries to control people, keep them close, because she feels like they're gonna leave her. And this is like very controlling, manipulative behavior. It's abusive. She doesn't see it that way though. She cannot see herself that way, and it could just be this is what she's hiding from herself. She doesn't see that her behavior is really abusive. I also heard she could be hiding something darker that she's really ashamed of in the reverse. I have not. I would love to go to Australia one day, but I have not been there. I met some Australian people that are really cool, but yeah, I've never been there. Two of Swords. I feel this is like the husband or ex-husband energy in this situation. Trying to decide what to do about this. They feel heavily responsible for this woman because she doesn't work. She could give all sorts of reasons for this too, or make them feel like it's their idea. I don't know, there's something about it. This whoever this husband is, like they're leaning into their intuition and trying to trust themselves more through this. Trying to lean more into their logical mind rather than their emotions, because they care very deeply for this person. They've been taking care of this person, but this person is not treating them well at all. Now they're in this place where they feel stuck, and they feel like they need to make a decision for both themselves and also their children, to protect themselves, to protect their children. But this woman is very, very defensive as well. She's very defensive. She's acting pretty erratically in moments, but then in other moments she's highly masking. It's a headache. This gives such a headache to the people around her, and then we have Lovers in the reverse. So she could have even been married multiple times, and like she has the same struggles in her relationship because she's always hiding and she's always trying to control the people around her so that she doesn't feel abandoned. She doesn't love herself. She doesn't love herself. She doesn't. It's really sad. I hate to see people go through that, but there are people who have these personality disorders, and it's for a reason. This happens in childhood, though, where this develops and it just gets progressively worse as they get older if they don't choose to heal. And this woman is choosing not to heal. She's actively choosing to run from herself and hide behind her relationships in very controlling ways. I feel like they're trying to uncover, this husband's trying to uncover what she's really hiding, what she's really afraid of. Because there's an aspect of it where she's so in fear. There is a lot of illusions because she's so afraid of the truth underneath. But I think they're trying to help her uncover the truth underneath, but she is so defensive, and they're also trying to defend themselves through this process. They do genuinely care, but they feel so sick. It feels like certain things are coming to light. More fear energy. There's a fear in dealing with this woman. There's also fear in her. She's filled with fear. Oh, I feel sick. Makes me feel sick. Maybe she feels sick. She feels cornered. She feels cornered. She feels exposed. Wands reverse. It could be with the Lovers reverse and Four of Wands reverse. This husband has tried so hard with this wife and the mother of their children. They've tried so hard to help them, but it's gone to the point where it is too hard. It is not working out, and this is a very abusive situation for both this husband and their children or child, whatever fits your story. But there is now this decision is about a divorce. Ultimately, like they just feel like they have to let go. They cannot pull the truth out of this person. They cannot help this person because they're unwilling to help themselves. So it could be that their decision that they're making is to get a divorce, to save themselves, and to, I feel like they really want to get full custody of their children, because they know that this mother is abusive. She's controlling, and he can see it in his children. They're suffering, but he wants to support them because they are so creative and they are so beautiful, and he loves and supports his children so much, but he doesn't want them to have to endure any more abuse from this mother figure. So he's making the very difficult decision to move on, and that's not an easy place for anyone to be, but it seems like that's where this masculine energy is. He cannot take any more of abuse towards him, and he would rather take the brunt of it than his children to have to face any of it. But he can see how much his children are affected by this as well, and it makes him so sick. It is not okay for her to continue treating them this way. And justice is here. So whether that's just karmic justice, and she is finally having to, and it's like, it feels like people are leaving her alone, not wanting anything to do with her anymore because she is so difficult. It could be the actual justice system involved. It doesn't have to be, depending on how great the abuse in this situation. And it could just be the justice is that divorce coming through, being finalized, and there might be a bit of a custody battle, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a battle because of this person's behavior. Again, they might be highly masking in times to try to gain custody, but I feel like this person has enough, and their children, I feel, are seeing this as well and want to kind of start over, to have a actually peaceful life where they're really supported, because this person is really erratic, and they don't work on their own, so they literally couldn't support these children anyway. So I feel like everything is kind of stacked up against them to where this father will be getting full custody. That is what's coming through very, very strong, because they don't want to have to keep defending themselves constantly, day in and day out. And this person may be presenting themselves as nice and sweet on the surface when they're out in public, but in private, in the home, this mother figure is very abusive and controlling just because she's afraid of being abandoned. And she is so fearful of this that is exactly what she manifested for herself. because she is so difficult to be around. No matter how much people care about her, they will not tolerate the abuse anymore, because I feel like this has been a long time coming. This has been years and years of taking this abuse because they care, but they cannot keep supporting her when she's not willing to heal and grow. And it is just a constant headache every day. And it is sickening. It is making them sick, so they have to get out of this situation. And I feel like the justice system is helping them to get out of this situation. And she's going to have to find a way to work on her own and to support herself moving forward. And also, this isn't going to be for everyone. This is going to be a message for some. This mother figure could have stolen or set up some sort of financial something in this husband's name. And it's not going to be for everyone. Only take it up if that applies. And trying to paint them out to be something they're not. It was actually her own actions. She did that. But she did it in his name, so it looks like him. It's like she's ruining his credit, his reputation, his it's like she's been affecting his work as well. So maybe he hasn't been able to maintain steady work. Like she's been fucking up his reputation behind his back. Maybe he's just found out about some of these things and he didn't know about it before. That's fucked. Goddamn. Yeah, I feel like this father figure, this husband of hers, or now ex, is just at a place where they are done. They do care naturally, and family is everything to them, but they are done. Especially finding out this truth, and maybe that's what she was hiding. Fraud, like financial fraud. She fucked up his life without him even realizing it was going on behind his back. Maybe this is what he's recently discovered that she hid from him, and now he's moving on because she has created so much instability in his life and tried to paint him as the bad guy. She might have even affected his relationships with other family members, or made it so that it was really hard for him to have any sort of friends. He might have even gone to this place where he was a bit more reclusive and had a hard time even leaving the house, put him in a really bad mood all the time. But really he's just trying to protect himself. But this is a very caring person. This is a very loving person. But now he sees it's time to go. I feel a lot of emotion. This person's in a very emotional place. They need support right now. They need actually supportive people. This person has been abused as fuck by this wife. And their children have been abused by her as well. I feel like this is finally being made very clear, and I wonder if this husband had inklings of certain things, and now he's really leaning on his intuition. He's actually finally trusting himself because he can see how manipulative and controlling she is, and how much abuse he's had to endure that he really never should have had to. This is really fucked up. This is a very unhealthy individual. And it seems like karma's hitting her pretty hard now because of her own behavior, and this is her choice to actively continue this behavior and keep lashing out at others rather than improving upon herself. The only improvements she makes is trying to create a better mask for herself, so lying better is her way of improving herself. But everyone around her, I think, is finally noticing how fake it is, and how she's not actually growing from any of this. She's just becoming a better liar. But they see, though, when the pressure's on and when she's in her fear, she can't lie anymore. She's giving herself away in different ways, and they're finding out a lot about how she's been using them and how she's committed fraud, like some type of financial fraud, and she refuses to work. Yeah, she's trying to paint this man out to be something that he's not at all. He's a very loving, family-oriented person, and he works his ass off for this family, only to be torn down fucking constantly. This is a very abusive situation. No wonder the justice system is involved. She could actually be getting arrested for her actions, especially if she's committed any type of fraud, because yeah, this is just not okay. This is not okay, whatever the situation is. This is not an energy that feels good. Yeah, she completely betrayed this person, but I feel like, yeah, it would really suck to be this man. But I feel like he's getting out of the situation, and whatever way she betrayed him is being cleaned up. So his life will be cleared up. Whatever she did behind his back, it is staying with her, and she is going to be paying the consequences of that, because he was able to make this very difficult decision, staying through all the lies, manipulation, and everything, all this confusion that really burnt him the fuck out. She was using and abusing this person, burnt him the fuck out. But this divorce, this final end to this connection, where he gets full custody of his children, and I really do believe he is, because of how she is being viewed for her actions at this time, and the justice system is involved. I really feel like him and the children are going to be moving on to a much better reality, where she is finally going to have to face the consequences of her actions. Thank fucking God. So every way she betrayed him is going to be cleared up, and he'll finally have the opportunity to heal from this. I'm just gonna pull one more oracle card, and we'll call this one. Welcome in, everybody. You know that Sinead O'Connor shit gets really old. It's not original. It's not even a little bit original. Like every other person types that in, just so you know. Sinead O'Connor, Justin Bieber. What else you got? How about come up with something original, or don't say anything at all? Thank you, I appreciate you. Same to you, many blessings to you for your kindness. May it return to you 10 times or better. And may your assholery be returned to you 10 times or greater too, for those of you that like to troll for no other reason, because you have nothing better to do with your lives. Alright, let's say a message. Let's get a message. This is the medicine deck, the beloved here, for the masculine in the situation. We do have the beloved, which is Damiana. Damiana is the message, or the medicine. I feel from moving on from this connection, this person will eventually find real love again. Like a love that's actually nurturing to them and something that they've deserved for a very long time. I feel like this person's been through a lot of really heavy stuff, this masculine energy, and through it all, they've still worked so hard to put so much love into their family, and now they're in a place where they are learning to really nurture themselves. And this is a very toxic relationship. It is going to be a healing process, because this would be something that creates complex post-traumatic disorder within them. So they're going to have to really take a lot of time to heal and nurture themselves through this. But I feel like from walking away and clearing this space, eventually they will find a connection again that is actually nurturing and supportive, and that gives them the love that they always deserved to have, and the love that they always really wanted. This person's a romantic at heart. This person is very romantic and so family oriented. They care so much. They care so much. They could be a Gemini. They could also be a Cancer, Libra. Relationships are so important to them, and their family is so important to them, and they will do anything for their family and the people that they love. So I feel many supportive connections coming in for this person, especially as they're going through this very tough time. I feel like it's making room for them to have people in their life that actually lift them up and are going to help them work through a lot of these fears, because this person themselves might be quite defensive and quite emotional through this, and have a hard time connecting with people just because of how badly they were abused. Not just in this connection, but this is something that's, I think, followed them throughout their life, and they're finally, I think, learning from this connection. I think out in the world they have had connections that are more supportive, and in contrast to this and their past experiences, they're finally seeing their own value and seeing that there are people out there who are genuinely supportive and won't take advantage of them every chance they get. So, but this is this person's also like just accepting certain things about this to get out of this situation, and they're gonna need a lot of time to learn how to trust themselves and others again. So this person really just needs to be patient with their process, and hopefully the people around them are very patient with them as well. This makes me so sad. This person's been carrying so much for so long. I feel like they're finally able to speak certain truths, and I feel like they got painted out to be this bad guy. I feel like they had so many relationships that could have developed but weren't able to because of this relationship, or against certain family members. Maybe they had to walk away from, or walked away from them because of this wife. It was really heartbreaking, and they might not have realized it before. Maybe they really thought that it was them because his wife made them feel like so shitty about themselves. They're finally seeing that they're not the problem, and there's nothing wrong with them, but it is still gonna be like, that shit's deeply ingrained in them now. It was constant, day to day. Imagine someone constantly beating you down. It doesn't necessarily have to be physically, but just emotionally. That creates so much trauma that it makes it really hard to have any kind of relationships anymore. But at least they have their children, and their children are gonna have to heal through this complex trauma too, which is so sad. Alright, let me pull this card and then I'll look at comments a little bit, but I'm not gonna stay on here so long, y'all. Alright, wisdom, rhodiola, and rose love. So this person, I really do feel a lot of connections, supportive connections coming in. I think actually you might, this person is going to find a true love after this connection, and not necessarily right away, but I feel like maybe sooner than expected. That's just coming through. It's just coming through, okay? And it's going to be through finding out that they are truly a unique individual, and through all the tough experiences that they've had to go through in life, they were able to grow and find wisdom in that. And I think they're finally realizing their strength. Again, they're finally realizing they were never the problem, but they're seeing the ways that they could grow from this, so that it never happens again. They can better protect themselves, and they can better protect their children moving forward. And because of this, they're growing in self-love, right? They're finding their unique traits that were maybe degraded, devalued by this wife, the mother of their children. They're finally seeing that their unique traits are actually really beautiful, and they're an important person, and they matter a lot more than this person was allowing them to see. And they don't have to be small just because this person was trying to control them so they wouldn't be abandoned. Like, I think they're finally understanding a bit of the complexity within the dynamics of their connection, and this is making them a much stronger, wiser person overall, and they're making room in their life for really beautiful things to happen. This person might even be connecting with someone of could be like an interracial connection moving forward. It doesn't have to be, or just someone from a completely different walk of life that they never would have expected to be connecting to before, but that might be the person that is coming in for this one, that is going to offer so much love and joy, and it's going to be like a truly collaborative connection. Also, I'll leave that reading there. I'm going to read some of your comments real quick. No, I'm not gonna marry you. Sorry, I don't know you. But thank you for the compliments, you guys. I appreciate you. Care about when it do to them makes it. When it comes from someone you care about and wouldn't do to them makes it hit harder. Absolutely. Yeah, it's hard being in abusive connections because yeah, you care so much and you know you would never do that to them. Like, you want the connection to work out, but when they're constantly working against you, yeah, there comes a time where you gotta draw a line. But it's also hard to admit to yourself that they're treating you like that when you care so much and you've convinced yourself that they really do love you because that's what they tell you, right? But if it's not what they're showing you, then you gotta move on. A tree cutter. Monopoly money, right? What? Why do you look like you're about to evaporate? What do you know about the... What? What the fuck are you guys talking about? Alright, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'll catch you guys later. Como no le invito a seguir,